Men, the most telling sign of hidden conversations isn't finding evidence. It's noticing the sudden changes in how she protects her phone. Today, we're breaking down 6 specific phone behavior changes that reveal she's hiding conversations you're not supposed to see. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. Change. 1. New passcode or biometric settings. After years of openness, when she suddenly adds a passcode to a phone that never had one, changes an existing code you knew, or enables Face ID specifically to prevent you from accessing it, she's not protecting her privacy from strangers. She's protecting specific conversations from you. Conversations that appeared recently enough that old security settings became insufficient to hide them. How this change works. The new security measures work by creating a barrier where none existed before. If her phone was previously accessible to you, whether she told you the code or left it unlocked around you, and suddenly that access disappears, something new on that phone requires protection. People don't suddenly become security conscious about old, innocent content. Notice the timing of security changes. Did the new passcode appear shortly after she met someone new, started a new job, or joined a new social circle? The correlation reveals that new people in her life require new privacy measures because new conversations are happening that you can't see. Pay attention to how she explains the change. If she claims it's about general security or privacy, but can't articulate what specific threat prompted the change, the explanation is cover for the real reason. Hiding specific conversations from you. General privacy concerns don't emerge suddenly after years of openness. Watch if she becomes physically protective of her phone in ways she wasn't before. If she now takes it everywhere, bathroom, shower, brief trips to another room, the behavior reveals that the phone contains something time-sensitive that can't risk being seen even briefly. The psychological purpose. This change serves to create a secure space for affair conversations, to establish a new normal where her phone is off limits so you stop expecting access, and to buy time to delete evidence before you could potentially see it during the transition period. How to recognize it. When sudden security changes appear without corresponding external threats or life changes, recognize this as evidence protection. The shift from openness to secrecy reveals that something new requires hiding. Don't accept vague explanations about privacy. Sudden changes indicate new secrets. Change. 2. Notification settings. Switch to hidden or off. When she changes her notification settings, so messages no longer display on the lock screen, turns off notification banners entirely, or switches to showing only message instead of the sender's name and content preview, she's not reducing distractions. She's preventing you from seeing who's texting her and what they're saying when her phone lights up nearby. How this change works. Hidden notifications work by eliminating the risk of you seeing a message from her affair partner flash across her screen when she's with you. Previously visible notifications, now hidden, reveal that someone is messaging her, whose identity or message content would immediately expose the affair if you saw it. Notice if she changed notification settings globally or for specific apps. If only certain messaging apps now have hidden notifications while others remain visible, she's selectively hiding specific conversations rather than genuinely wanting fewer distractions. The selectivity reveals which conversations are secret. Pay attention to whether she now keeps her phone face down constantly. Combined with hidden notifications, this behavior creates double protection. You can't see the screen light up with messages, and even if you did, you couldn't read them. This excessive caution reveals something specific is being hidden. Watch how she reacts when her phone buzzes or lights up near you. If she immediately grabs it, checks it anxiously, or physically shields the screen from your view, the protective reaction reveals that incoming messages are dangerous to the affair remaining hidden. The psychological purpose. This change serves to eliminate the risk of message previews exposing the affair, to reduce her anxiety about her phone lighting up when you're nearby, And to create plausible deniability, if you ask about messages, she can claim she didn't see them because notifications are off. How to recognize it? When notification visibility decreases without a reasonable explanation, like work confidentiality requirements, recognize conversation hiding. Ask yourself, what changed that made previously visible notifications now need to be hidden? The answer is usually a person whose messages can't be seen. Change. 3. Suddenly deleting messages and call logs regularly. When she starts clearing her text messages, deleting call history, and wiping messaging app conversations regularly, especially when she previously never deleted anything, she's not managing phone storage. She's systematically eliminating evidence of conversations and calls with her affair partner, so there's nothing for you to find if you ever check her phone. How this change works. Regular deletion works by ensuring that even if you gain access to her phone, you'll find nothing suspicious because all evidence has been preemptively eliminated. The shift from keeping message history to regularly deleting it reveals that current conversations can't withstand scrutiny the way previous innocent conversations could. Notice if entire conversations are missing with specific people. If most contacts show message history, but certain people have no messages, despite her claiming to communicate with them regularly, those deleted conversations are the ones being hidden. The selective deletion reveals which relationships are secret. Pay attention to whether call logs are unusually empty. If she's making and receiving calls, but her call log only shows a few recent calls, she's clearing it regularly. People don't delete call history unless specific calls need hiding, usually frequent calls to the same hidden number. Watch if she deletes messages immediately after reading them. If you notice her checking a message and then immediately going into settings or holding down on the conversation to delete it, she's not just cleaning up. She's eliminating evidence in real time before you could possibly see it. The psychological purpose. This change serves to eliminate discoverable evidence of the affair, to create clean phone appearance that suggests innocence if you check it, and to reduce her anxiety about you potentially seeing her phone because nothing incriminating remains on it. How to recognize it. When someone who never deleted messages suddenly maintains an empty or nearly empty message history, recognize evidence elimination. Digital pack rats don't suddenly become minimalists without reason. The reason is usually conversations that can't leave a trace. Change 4. New, private, or secure. Messaging apps installed. When apps like Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, or other encrypted or disappearing message platforms suddenly appear on her phone, especially if she has no legitimate professional reason for them, she's not concerned about general privacy. She's creating communication channels specifically designed to hide conversations through encryption, disappearing messages, or features that prevent screenshots and forwarding. How this change works. Secure messaging apps work by creating entirely separate communication channels that are either encrypted end-to-end, making them impossible for you to access even if you have her phone, or automatically delete messages, eliminating evidence completely. The new apps reveal that standard messaging isn't secure enough for current conversations. Notice if she downloaded these apps recently, despite having no history of privacy concerns. If she's never cared about encrypted messaging before, but suddenly has Signal or Telegram installed, someone convinced her she needed more secure communication. Usually an affair partner who knows the relationship is secret. Pay attention to whether she has valid reasons for these apps. Some professions require encrypted communication, but if she works in retail, education, or other fields with no confidentiality requirements, and suddenly has multiple secure messaging apps, the security isn't professional, it's personal. Watch if these apps have notifications turned off or hidden. If the secure apps exist, but show no notification badges or alerts, she's using them in complete stealth mode. You can't even see that someone messaged her on these platforms, which means the conversations happening there are extremely sensitive. The psychological purpose. This change serves to create untraceable communication channels with her affair partner, to use features like disappearing messages that automatically destroy evidence, and to separate affair conversations from regular messaging so there's no risk of sending the wrong message to the wrong person. How to recognize it? When encrypted or disappearing message apps appear without professional justification, recognize intentional secret communication channel creation. These apps exist for one purpose: having conversations that leave no trace. Ask yourself who she's messaging that requires that level of secrecy. Change 5. Renamed contacts with generic or misleading labels. When you notice contacts in her phone with suspicious generic names like Sarah Jim, Mike Work, Emily Dentist, or even just initials, and especially if you know she doesn't go to that gym, doesn't work with that person, or the contact information doesn't match the label, she's not organizing her contacts helpfully. She's disguising her affair partner's identity so that if you see messages or calls from that contact, you'll think it's someone innocent. How this change works. Contact renaming works by creating plausible covers for frequent communication with her affair partner. If you see Sarah Jim texting constantly, you assume it's her workout buddy and never question it. Meanwhile, Sarah is actually Jake, her affair partner, disguised under a female name to eliminate your suspicion. Notice if certain business or friend contacts message her at unusual times. If Mike Work is texting at 11 p.m. or on weekends, or if Sarah Jim never corresponds with actual gym days, the timing mismatch reveals the contact label is false cover for someone else entirely. Pay attention to whether she has multiple contacts for the same person. If you know she has her actual dentist's number saved, but there's also an Emily Dentist contact that gets regular messages, the duplicate reveals the second contact is a disguised affair partner using a plausible professional cover. Watch how she reacts if you ask about these contacts. If she gets defensive, gives vague answers, or can't provide consistent details about these supposedly innocent contacts, the protective reaction reveals the contacts aren't who they're labeled as. The psychological purpose. This change serves to hide the affair partner's identity in plain sight, to make frequent communication with them appear innocent if you glance at her phone, and to create plausible explanations for constant texting that would otherwise appear suspicious. How to recognize it. When contact names seem designed to categorize people rather than identify them, or when you can't verify that contacts match their labels, recognize potential contact disguising. Real contacts are named by actual names. Overly descriptive labels like Amanda Pilates instructor are often covers for hidden identities.